Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching the Season 2 finale of Invincible. So the long-awaited clash between Angstrom Levy and Invincible finally happens. And while Angstrom has seen Invincible tear apart many lives, including his own, in various timelines, it's clear that this is the one timeline where Mark is a good guy and he is not. But when Debbie mentions that to him, he breaks Debbie's arm and even tries to kill Oliver on several occasions. And Mark naturally can't let him kill his brother and his mom, so he beats Angstrom Levy to death in another dimension. But being that this is the first time he's killed someone, he thinks he's completely lost control and he can't find his way back home either. Until he finds the Guardians of the Globe, who have a portal to get him back home. And the robot in that world happens to be Rexplode, which is pretty funny considering that Rex bases his clone body off. The robot bases his clone body off of Rex. Speaking of robot, he seems to reconcile with Monster Girl back home. The older Adam Eve tells Mark to possibly reciprocate Adam Eve's love for him, which he does. And thankfully, Debbie isn't dead. She's just going to have to wear a cast for a while. On top of that, Alan meets up with Nolan over in the Viltrumite prison, and it seems that Nolan feels immense guilt for what he did on Earth. And he even misses Debbie. The woman who he referred to as a pet back in season 1 ends up being someone he actually cares about now. Especially considering that this is one of the first times that he's shown this amount of guilt. Almost like he feels human for a Viltrumite when it comes down to it, which is interesting considering he is not human at all. On top of that, while Alan's mission to break Nolan out of prison may not be going as well as he initially thought, we'll see how that goes when season 3 rolls around. Especially considering that Mark believes he's going to have to drop out of college and try to be better after losing control on Angstrom Levy. But with his mother and brother still with him, we know he'll be able to push through it. So as far as the second season as a whole goes, I don't understand why they cut it into 2 parts when apparently the second half was done right when the first half aired. But I do think it is a really good follow-up to the original. It's got a similar amount of animation quality. It introduces a bunch of interesting new characters. It has, again, a really heart-wrenching amount of scenes, especially in both the mid-season finale and this finale. And it even has some time for great comedy, like with a... apparently in the comics, Invincible met Spider-Man, but here they essentially have Josh Keaton voicing a Spider-Man XP called Agent Spider. And there's even a scene where Mark seems to talk to Batman in another dimension. Too bad Kevin Conroy couldn't voice the guy, you know? God, may he rest in peace. But there's also this funny scene where these 2 women enter a tomb where this pharaoh needs to possess a male who enters his tomb, and he says, "Oh, you're both women. I can't possess anybody." I don't know if that scene was in the comics, but that did make me laugh, especially considering the girls head into the tomb and one of them finds her father who's dead. So I was like, "Oh, so the one male you possibly could have used to come back is dead. So that's not going to work out." So yeah, the second season, in my opinion, doesn't have all of the same strengths as the first season, but to me, it really hits just as hard. I love it every bit as much as the first season, even while I do have some issues with how Amazon handled it. It's still really well structured, really well put together, and has the heart and soul that you'd expect from an adaptation of one of Robert Kirkman's works. I have no idea how long it's going to take before certain other infamous scenes happen, like the infamous scene with Anissa and Mark, or if Conquest is going to show up in the third season, but I'm willing to wait to see how it happens, and however long it takes for a third season to come out. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. See you next time.